the 49ers Cutback.
It's 49ers Cutback Podcast time. We always tell you to join the conversation in the comment section, and one guy has definitely been joining the conversation, and he came up with a trade scenario that we should consider. Dan Stevenson came up with a trade, the 49ers trading pick number 12, pick number 43, so our first and second round pick, to the Washington football team.
The name redacted.
In need of a quarterback.
It's true.
And they would trade us pick 19 in the first round, 51 in the second, and then 74 and 82.
Oh my.
So we would turn our 2 picks into 4. We would be able to draft 4 players in the top 100, which is always a goal. I know we'd actually probably get a little bit more than that. But Horst, is this something you'd be interested in?
It's a risky trade. Just call him Dangerous Danny Stevenson.
Dangerous.
That's pretty good name.
I think it's an interesting trade idea. It gives the 49ers extra picks in the top 100. They do have to move down though. But if whoever they would like at 12 is not there, it's definitely not a bad move to move back to 19 a little bit. Grab that edge rusher you want, or the corner you want, or maybe an offensive lineman, whoever it is that they feel is next, but maybe not worthy of being picked 12, will probably still be there at 19. So it's not a bad move to pile up draft picks in the top 100 ever.
Definitely not. And the thing I like most about this is that Monday we talked about the other trade scenario that the Niners potentially have with the Chicago Bears. This is a trade scenario that, again, the reason why the picks can potentially get that high, where you get 4 picks in the top 100, is because you have multiple teams bouncing back and forth. And it could be a trade scenario in which you get those 4 picks, and then you're able to take a few of those picks and trade back up into the first round and get a guy you like a little bit later, maybe 20 or on, 24 on to 32. Come back in and grab the guy that you want to grab, that you're in love with. There's just so many options when you pick up that many picks in the top 100. There's so many different things you can do with those picks. Just provides a lot of versatility. I know Dan Stevenson had said that he would prefer if we drafted 2 O-linemen, some corners, and an edge rusher with those picks. I don't think we're all in agreement on that. I don't think we would go O-line there with those picks that we grab that early. We're not as big on some of the O-line guys there. Definitely going to try and grab an edge rusher, though. There's maybe some other highly talented players at some other positions that we maybe are not in need of, but would add huge depth to this roster of this team.
I think it's about flexibility, and this gives you the flexibility to move throughout the draft. Bill Walsh was very famous for this, his trading back, stockpiling picks, moving around to strategically get who he wanted to get. Kind of in that 19 to 20 range, the 2 trade scenarios we've been talking about is kind of the hot spot for J.C. Horn, Azeez Al-Jawlari. Even that's where you're going to think about Darrisaw, the tackle. Those guys kind of in that range is players that they could get. And those are all targets for the 49ers, I'm sure, at least in a fan's perspective, is the edge rusher, the corner, and also the offensive tackle. I think that is actually the sweet spot where they need to be if you're not quarterback needy. 49ers aren't quarterback needy for one of those, the 4th or 5th best quarterback in this draft. I think they could get value later on in the draft. So making this trade and then picking up these picks will be fantastic for the 49ers, because I think they already have 10 picks in this draft. By adding more, they would be able to use those picks at the back end of the draft to jump up and get even more players in the top 100. Anytime you can jump up and get 5 to 6 players in the top 100 players is really what you need to do. That's where the value is. That's where you find players that you're really looking to build with, the Fred Warners and players like that. So the 49ers definitely should consider this if it is a real option. I like the premise of it. I like the premise of the one we did on Monday as well.
Absolutely.
I think these trade back scenarios are really what the 49ers need to do, because I don't think there's a clear-cut player at 12. I think we all believe that if a couple players drop to 12, the 49ers have to stay the 100%. Penei Sewell, Kyle Pitts, those kind of guys, you're automatically staying. But I don't think one of those 2 lower quarterbacks are the reason. And I also don't think you have to reach on an edge rusher or reach on a corner there. I don't know if it's completely a reach. We kind of have some disagreements on whether it's Farley or Surtain. If Farley's there, I still would trade back because I think if you're going corner, you could still get J.C. Horn. So I would still make the move so that way I could pick up edge rushers and other depth, offensive line depth later on, maybe a Wyatt Davis, depending on where he falls. Yeah. So those are all options. That's why this was a intriguing trade possibility.
I think it just all comes down to whether Shanahan, Lynch, and those guys feel like there's one of those edge rushers is much more valuable than the others.
Agreed.
If they don't, if they feel that there's a couple guys there of similar value, but there's not one they're absolutely in love with, then I think a trade back is very likely. If, say, just pulling a name out that they feel like Gregory Rousseau is the pass rusher and the other guys are 2 steps behind him, then you'll see him take him there. You know, and I'm not just meaning that position. I'm whatever position it is they're looking at right there. That's that. Unless they think someone's 8 picks better than everyone else, I wouldn't be shocked to see a trade back there.
No, don't be surprised if the Niners are trying to make a lot of moves on draft day or even before draft day. It could very easily happen. And as you can tell, we like engaging with you in the community. So don't be afraid to leave those comments down below. Let us know what you think of this trade scenario. Is there a trade scenario that you think with another team that we haven't brought up and talked about already? Not the Bears, not the Washington football team, that you like and you think is a possibility? If so, let us know about it in the comment section down below. If it intrigues us enough, we're going to talk about it. We want to engage with you. We want to put out content that you guys enjoy just as much as we enjoy doing. So have a conversation. Let us know. We'll talk back.
Yeah, we're going to try to talk to you and just go over these things. So I think they are interesting situations and things that are actually, could happen. They're not just out there things. These are things that could happen. And anytime that you can improve your team through the draft, it's so important. So hopefully we can get it done. Hopefully the 49ers can make a trade like this because I think it is. I think we all believe that now the 49ers should trade back. Just can they do it?
It's gonna be interesting either way, one way or the other. They're gonna be either gonna get it done or they're gonna love somebody there at 12. Who knows? The only way to find out is to wait and see and just anticipate that draft. And before we get to that draft and before this video ends, hit that like button right now, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and until next time, stay safe.
And remember, the right way
is always the 49ers way.